Hello P6 students, today we are learning all about one of my favorite kinds of food, the truth about fish and chips. Written by Paul Mason. A favorite dish. Do you like fish and chips? Fish and chips is one of the most popular meals in the world, especially in Great Britain and Australia. But fish and chips has a secret story. There's a lot you might not know about this surprising dish. Where does it really come from? This poster is from the 1920s. Fish and chips soon became popular in many countries. Chips. But which is the best type of potato for making chips? Find out more on page 17. Fish. Cod is traditional. Find out more on page 10. Who invented chips? Some people say that the Belgians invented chips in the 1700s. Some say it was the French. No one knows for sure. Belgian flag, French flag. The Belgian Times, sometime in the 1700s. Wonderful new meal ends winter woes. Mother's happy. The kids have stopped moaning at last. It's been a long, freezing winter in Belgium. The river ice is so thick that fishing is impossible. If you're dreaming of a fishy meal, one local lady has a suggestion. Try her new invention, chips. The kids were moaning that they hadn't had fish for ages. They were really getting on my nerves. So I cut some potatoes into little fish shapes and fried those. They loved them. By the 20th century, chips were so popular that they were sold on the streets in Paris, France. The first chips recipe. If you want to try making chips the original way, try this recipe. Get an adult to help. Step 1. Peel a big potato and cut it into slices 1 centimeter thick. Step 2. Use a pastry cutter to cut out the fish shapes. Boil the fish shapes in water for 3 minutes, no longer. Drain and pat dry with kitchen paper. Step 3. Put the fish shapes into hot oil in a frying pan. Once they are brown underneath, turn them over to cook the other side. And step 4. When both sides are cooked, lift out the fish shapes and pat dry on kitchen tissue. The first fish and chip shop. Chips came from Belgium, or maybe France. The first fried fish recipes came from Portugal. Suddenly, fish and chips seem very international. The first fish and chip shop was in Great Britain. It opened in the 1860s. Some people say it was opened by Joseph Malin in the East End of London. Others claim that John Lees in Lancashire beat him to it. After the 1860s, fish and chip shops opened throughout Britain. There were even fish and chip carts. Fish and chips always used to be served wrapped in old newspapers. In some countries, this is now banned because people think it is unhealthy. The perfect fish. Which is the best fish to have with chips? Most people pick cod. The trouble is, so many cod have been caught that there are not many left in the sea. This is called overfishing. Today, many people prefer to eat something other than cod. They look for fish that tastes just as good, but has not been overfished. Here are some you can try. Pollock and coley taste a bit like cod. Halibut, a meaty fish, like cod, is good if you don't like bones. This blue label shows it's okay to buy a particular type of fish. Fish is delicious, and it is very good for your body and your brain. But for years, fishermen have taken too many fish from the sea, and in some places, there are hardly any left. So now, we have to make sure that we only buy fish that have been caught in the right parts of the sea, and that we never take too many. Hugh Fearnley Whittingstall, food writer and chef. Make your own fish fingers. Here's a recipe for yummy fish fingers from Hugh Fearnley Whittingstall. Get an adult to help you make this. Ingredients: 250 grams firm-fleshed fish, such as lemon sole or black bream, cut into fingers. 3 tablespoons of plain flour. 2 eggs, whisked. 100 grams of fine breadcrumbs, salt and pepper, some sunflower oil. Step 1. Put the flour on a plate and season with salt and pepper. Put the whisked eggs in a bowl. Put the breadcrumbs on a plate. Dip each finger of fish in the flour, then in the whisked egg, then in the breadcrumbs. Put them on a plate. Step 3. Get an adult to heat some sunflower oil in a frying pan over a medium heat. Fry the fish fingers, a few at a time, for about 2 minutes on each side until golden and crisp. Step 4. Drain on kitchen paper. Serve with a dip such as tomato sauce, mayonnaise, tartar sauce, or yogurt with garlic. How fish and chips won 2 world wars. In 1914 and again in 1939, wars known as World Wars started in Europe. Few people know that a secret weapon helped Britain in both wars. Fish and chips. It's terrible. We have to line up to buy bread. Meat and many other foods were rationed, but fish was not rationed. Top secret memo from the Prime Minister to Minister for Food. I am worried that people will be upset because we haven't won the war yet. Please make sure they have plenty of fish and chips to cheer them up. The Prime Minister. Thick, juicy steak, and very nice too, but only a dream, and how? If it wasn't for good old fish and chips, we'd be down and out by now. Posters like this were meant to remind people how lucky they were to have fish and chips, not how much they missed steak. From peeled potato to perfect chips. Chips from a fast food shop are all the same shape and size. They have been made by machine. To make perfect chips at home, don't forget to ask an adult to help you. Step 1. Choose the best potato. Many chefs use Maris Piper potatoes. Step 2. Choose the right fat. Beef fat is traditional, or you can use oil. And step 3. Cook the chips properly 3 times. First, boil them for about 3 minutes. Then, fry them at 120 degrees Celsius. Then, fry them again at 180 degrees Celsius. Hey presto! Perfect chips. Six strange facts about potatoes. Fact 1. People often think Sir Francis Drake brought the first potatoes to Europe. It was actually Spanish sailors in the late 1500s. Step 2. Fact 2. In 1995, a potato became the first food to be grown in space. Fact 3. The world's largest potato was grown in 2011. It weighed 5 kilograms, about the same as a small dog. Fact 4. all parts of the potato plant are poisonous. Cooking potatoes makes them safe to eat. Fact 5. During the gold rush in America in 1898, potatoes were worth as much as gold. Fact 6. Potatoes are 80% water. So are human babies. Any extras? Most people like to add extra flavors to their fish and chips. These are just a few of the most popular ones. Salt and vinegar, often added to both fish and chips. Mushy peas, gravy, or curry sauce, popular in the north of England, Wales, and Scotland. Lemon juice, sometimes added to the fish. Tomato ketchup or mayonnaise, usually added to the chips. Fish and chips timeline. 8,000 to 5,000 BC. Potatoes are grown by farmers in Peru, South America. 1500s. Potatoes are exported from South America to Europe. 1700s. Chips first appear in Belgium and France. Fried fish recipes are brought to Britain from Portugal. 1860s. The first fish and chip shop opens in Great Britain. 1860s to today. Fish and chip shops open in many countries. The dish is still a favorite today. And that's the end of the story. The truth about fish and chips. Well, students, I hope you enjoyed the story, The Truth About Fish and Chips. It's a really interesting book, and we can learn a lot about the history behind this very popular food. I have a few questions for you. Let's see if you can answer them at home. Remember, you can pause the video to answer the questions in your own time. My first question is, do you like eating fish and chips? My next question is, what was the first food that was grown in space? And the last question is, can you remember who were the first people to bring fish and chips to Great Britain? And when? Thanks, boys and girls. See you next time.